Superintendent Shane Barnette. We're down here in Hanceville. You're in the middle of a complete overhaul about how you look at school security, aren't you?
We are. We just trying to step it up a little bit, try to be as prepared as we possibly can.
Well, Jimmy Collins invited you, the sheriff, the police chief down here in Hanceville. Got a lengthy meeting that got pretty detailed. Proactive is how I would view that meeting. Can you tell us about it a little bit?
Right. It is. I think we're just bringing everybody, all the stakeholders together to walk through our campuses and to say, here's where we're at right now, and here's the things that we're doing to keep all of our students safe and getting their input on making things even better. And more than anything, trying to be proactive and how we can prevent some of these things like what happened last week.
Well, I remember when Columbine first happened, and we've had other incidents around the country. In the back of my head, I said, well, that'll never happen here. I think we're past that point. It could happen anywhere, couldn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, it could. Every time I hear about a school shooting, I want to throw up. I mean, it makes me weak in my knees. But at the same time, I'm not so naive to think it couldn't happen here in Cullman, Alabama. And that's why we do. That's why some conversations we had earlier is we take everything serious now. And I hate to say that because some things kids say out of joking around and stuff, but we're in a society now where they can't joke like that anymore.
Well, I think today's meeting focused on actual threats, intruders, shooters, but then there's the whole sub-tier of threats. Back in my day, we might have pulled a fire alarm, started a food fight. It's way escalated past that to where it is now. So what steps are you taking if you have students that start a rumor or say things? I mean, what happens? There's got to be a penalty there.
Absolutely. And depending on the severity of it is whether we turn them over to law enforcement or not. And I'll tell you right now, I tell my administrators, when in doubt, report it to authorities. And we want to start that paper trail of even young people that we think may go down this road someday or something. We hope to goodness that nobody would, but we want to be prepared and we want to try to intervene with those children early on and maybe stop that process before it even gets to that point.
Well, it seems like that would be the first step because in school, you know who the kids are that are having trouble, maybe doing things different than they were a month before, 6 months before. And it seems like that's somewhat obvious in smaller schools. It's what you do at that point, right?
It is, and we do have a new partnership this year with an organization called Helping Families Initiative, and that's through the DA's office, and he's helping us intervene with some families of kids that are struggling, and we see that come from a rough family life or just maybe constantly in trouble or getting discipline issues and so forth. They're stepping in and trying to help them with those kids as well.
Makes sense. Well, I know we're down here in Hanceville. What are your plans to take this countywide to other schools? Absolutely.
Yeah, one of the things that I'm wanting to do within the next 2 to 3 weeks is have a safety summit with everybody, all the stakeholders in Cullman County and Cullman City, that we can come together and talk about some of the things that we can do to head these kind of things off. And not only do that, and how can we respond faster than we ever have, and what can we do to prevent something like this? And so we're going to have that meeting, and then we're going to have more meetings like this at each one of our campuses, just to talk about, what can we do on that campus to make it a little more safe and better respond to instances of something like this.
Makes sense.
And the other thing is right now on our social media, kids say things on there and adults say things on social media. And we're following up on those things. When somebody posts something on there that can be taken as a threat, it's going to be taken serious. And we're going to turn that over to authorities. And we've got young kids that's going to be, whether convicted or tried as a terrorist when they make these threats like this, because we're taking it serious.
Well, there's a charge in the Alabama Code that says terrorist threats. These would fall into that category, wouldn't they?
It absolutely would. And of course, that's the DA's office to decide on that. But we're going to turn them over to them and hopefully turn the curve on this craziness.
So if I hear you right, time for joking is over.
It really is, especially when there's a lot more areas to joke about and kid about than school safety. There's no room for talking about shooting or bombing or anything like that. That is so much of that stuff going on in our society now. I don't even want to hear a joke about it. And any kids that go out and they say something in class, say something to their neighbor, or post something online, we're going to take it serious. And we're going to turn it over to authorities. And as far as I'm concerned, we're going to prosecute as to the length of the law.
Superintendent Barnette, thanks for talking to me. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you. Appreciate you.